In a beautiful meadow filled with green grass, there lived a grasshopper named Gary. Gary was no ordinary grasshopper. He had a very special problem. Gary was gassy. Every time he hopped, a funny little rumble would come from his belly, and sometimes it even made a loud sound like a little pfft. But Gary didn't mind too much. In fact, he thought it was kind of funny. He loved to jump through the green grass, especially on sunny days when the flowers were blooming and the wind was just right. His best friend, Jim Bob the Frog, always loved to hop along with him. One afternoon, Gary and Jim Bob were sitting under a log, eating their favorite treat, cookies. Gary took a big chomp of his cookie, and suddenly, rumble, his belly made a loud sound. Jim Bob giggled and said, "Looks like you're gassy again, Gary." Gary couldn't help but laugh. "I guess my belly just loves cookies as much as I do." Just then, a balloon floated by, bobbing in the breeze. It was part of the big festival that was happening in the meadow today. There were colorful tents, music playing, and lots of friends from all over the meadow gathering for fun. Gary's belly gave another little rumble, and he said, "Come on, Jim Bob, let's go see what's going on at the festival." Gary's legs were ready for action, and with a quick jump, he was off. Jim Bob hopped after him, and together they skipped and hopped toward the festival. When they arrived, there was a big crowd of animals, all enjoying the games and treats. There was a cartwheel contest, and Gary thought, "I could give that a try." He took a deep breath, bent his legs, and tried his best to do a cartwheel. Whoosh! Gary spun around, but instead of landing on his feet, he ended up spinning and flying through the air, and landing in a big pile of green grass. Everyone around him laughed, including Jim Bob. "That was the funniest cartwheel I've ever seen, Gary," Jim Bob said, giggling. Gary stood up and brushed himself off, still laughing. "I guess I need a little more practice," he said, feeling a bit embarrassed but not too worried. Next, Gary spotted a stand with ice cream cones. His belly gave another little rumble at the thought of it. "Ice cream sounds perfect right now," he said. He and Jim Bob stood in line, and when it was their turn, Gary picked a big scoop of chocolate ice cream. He took a big chomp, and his belly rumbled again, but this time it was more like a satisfied growl. "Yum! This ice cream is so good," Gary said, licking his ice cream cone happily. As they walked around, they saw more of their friends having fun. There were rabbits playing hopscotch, squirrels jumping on the trampoline, and even a duck doing a funny dance. Everyone was having the best time. "Today has been so much fun," Jim Bob said, watching everyone play. "Even if you're a little gassy, Gary, you always make me laugh." Gary smiled and took another chomp of his cookie. "Thanks, Jim Bob. I'm glad I've got you to laugh with me." As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the meadow, Gary and Jim Bob sat down on a patch of green grass. The air was filled with laughter, music, and the sweet scent of flowers. Gary's belly rumbled one last time, but this time it wasn't from being gassy. It was just a happy little rumble from a day well spent. And as the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Gary knew that no matter how gassy he was, he had the best friends and the best adventures.